Well, a recent survey from GENYOUth, a leading nonprofit dedicated to creating healthier school communities, found that 73% of school nutritionists are concerned about child hunger in the coming school year. With the pandemic putting even more pressure on schools to deliver daily nutrition to tens of millions of students, we're joined by Alexis Glick, CEO of GENYOUth, to discuss the survey results and how we can all help schools right here in the Coachella Valley feed our local students. Welcome, Alexis.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thanks for joining us. And I understand you've kind of called this hungernomics, right? Because it really is becoming a universal problem, food hunger and really food insecurity in the schools.
Absolutely. Well, as you know, at the height of COVID, the food insecurity among our nation's youth is what you call food insecure, which means they don't know where they're going to get their next meal. For Black and Hispanic kids, that's 1 in 3. But recently, the federal government made a decision to offer universal meals to all kids in all schools, regardless of household income, to provide equitable access for those meals. So there's no longer the stigma of the haves and have-nots. But when I talk about school hungernomics, what I mean is that for every lunch and every breakfast that a school building serves, they're actually running at a deficit. For school lunch, it's about a 50-cent deficit, and for school breakfast, it's about an 85-cent deficit. That is what we're trying to address at GENYOUth, is how we can help schools overcome that deficit.
Yeah, that is very troubling indeed. So how are schools going to be paying for this? How are they possibly coming up with the funds?
Well, one of the things we did at GENYOUth, we worked there right in your backyard, and we worked throughout the state of California. And think about it, right? You have an unemployment rate well high above the national average, and many families are coming off of unemployment claims. So what we recognize is that hunger for kids, particularly in school buildings, is ground zero. So at GENYOUth, because we support 40 million kids in 75,000 of our nation's schools, we created an End Student Hunger Fund where we allowed school buildings to apply for up to $3,000 in grant requests. And what we've been able to do is support 10,000 schools. We have another 10,000, though, that have requested grants. I was just looking at the data right in your backyard. We've supported about 730 schools. We've provided several $1 million, but we have 447 outstanding grants. Those grants are being used to provide equipment. So many of the schools are purchasing grab-and-go containers, cooler bags, the PPE they need, because they're providing more meals to more kids in more day parts and in more locations than ever.
Wow, so impressive. Thank you for that. But is this just until June of 2022? What are the thoughts going beyond that?
Well, it's a great question. This is truly a game changer. It's an unprecedented move on the part of the federal government. But what the suggestion is if we can offer and provide those universal meals successfully throughout the school year, there is a high probability that they will maintain universal meals in schools, because as we talk about the 55 million kids who attend school every day, north of 30 million of them are what you call free or reduced meal eligible, which means without the school buildings, they go hungry. So the movement around universal meals is great.
Wow. Well, Alexis, thank you so much. Such important information to share with our viewers. Where can they go for more information and find out how we can all help?
So they can go to genyouthnow.org to learn more, or they can go to genyouthnow.org/donate, or they can text schools to 20222. It's a one-time $25 donation. We'd be so grateful for your support. And as I referenced, I was just looking at the numbers. There are 447 neighboring schools who have put in grant requests. So anything local business leaders or individuals can do to help, we'd be so incredibly grateful. Because this is Hunger Action Month. It's why I'm wearing orange. It's to get out the awareness and to help our schools address this really insurmountable, but we can overachieve it, issue around food insecurity among our nation's kids.
Well, Alexis, thank you so much. Such good work you're doing. We really appreciate it, and we definitely will pass on that information to our viewers. Thank you for joining us.
I see. Thank you so much.